Yes, you saw that title correctly. I got a 4.6 in my first semester of high school and college classes. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Let's get into it. So I have this video divided into 5 parts, and I will have the timestamps listed on the screen. So if you're looking for just one specific part, you can jump to that part. These are just the tips that work for me. Obviously, not all study techniques, not all of my tips will work for you. You just need to pick and choose like what you think will benefit you the most. And I'm just sharing from my own personal experience. I want to put this out there. Okay. And with that being said, let's get back into the video. So the first part that I have is I want to talk about organization. This is key, especially in college classes where you have the due dates literally all lined up for you. In a college class, you will receive a syllabus and it'll have like every single assignment and test and quiz that you will have for that class. So use it and put it into a planner or a bullet journal. Even if you just have a to-do list, like write down the assignments that you need to do and do them. That is like the key to organization. Literally write down every single thing, like write down due dates, test assignments, homework, test days, when you need to start studying for a final or a midterm. All of those are important days and they need to be noted somewhere in your organization system. It's also important that you check your grades and the platform that your school uses frequently. I cannot tell you how many times I have checked my Schoology, which is what my school uses, and Blackboard, which is what my college uses, for an assignment, and I'll realize that I didn't finish an assignment or I forgot to turn it in. I check my school platforms at least twice before I go to bed just because I'm paranoid like that. And it's so important because it can be the make or break between your grade being a 90 or being an 89. So it's important to check your grades in your platform frequently because you'd rather be turning in stuff on time than not turning it at all. So checking your grades in the platform is important. So the next section that I have is for notes. So you can do whatever note-taking method works best for you. I have actually 2 videos on my channel already, and I'll put them on the screen and in the little card wherever it is on the screen so that you guys can go watch those after this video. You can do whatever works best for you. You can do digital note-taking on a MacBook or an iPad. You can use handwritten notes. Some people don't even take notes at all. They just do little summaries of the lecture, which whatever works for you, you do best. I do really detailed handwritten notes just because I do study off of my notes, like my notebook. I use that to study for tests and stuff. And don't spend too much time on notes if it's not what you use to study for tests. So like if your preferred test studying method usually has you like using flashcards, then you shouldn't be spending a ton of time on notes because you don't even use them to study. So what is the point with you taking like 4 or 5 hours to write your notes? So yeah. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is assignments and all school tasks in general. So what I did is I would complete assignments and stuff in order of the importance and significance. So I wouldn't stress too much about like little small 5-10 point assignments while you're not getting in like the big 50-100 point assignments, because those are the ones that kind of matter more. I mean, all assignments matter, but the ones that are more points, they're going to affect your grade more. And also look at how your teacher weights stuff in the grade book. And they'll usually tell you this during like the first week of school-ish. They'll be like, okay, homework is worth like 5% of your grade, while tests are worth like 50% of your grade. So you shouldn't be worried too much about homework, but rather you should be taking a lot more time to study for tests, as those are going to be weighted into your final grade a lot more. And also for bigger projects and bigger assignments that are like spread out over a long period of time, especially if your teacher is not giving you structure, you need to give yourself that structure and just break those into smaller tasks for you to complete daily. And the motto is, if you're not ahead, you're behind. So with bigger assignments, even if it's not due for like a week or 2, just get it done, get it over with, and even be ready to submit it just to get it out of the way. You can even submit it like a way before it's due, just so that you're not thinking about it and you're not stressing about it because you know that it's already done and completed. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is tests. So the only thing I can say about tests is studying. I study off of my notes, like I mentioned previously. So the way that I study off of my notes is through the apply, explain it method, which it's not really a method, but what I'll do is I'll write my notes, I'll read over them once myself, and then I will usually either teach it to my room or I will teach it to my parents or my siblings, anyone who's willing to listen to me, and I will just explain the concepts to them because that helps solidify the explanations in my brain already as well. Teaching things really helps solidify it in my brain for me, and it has worked really, really well. But there's other forms of studying that you can do, such as using flashcards, mock tests, and for math, the only thing I can say is practice math. The best way to study for a math test is to practice like the math that you're gonna do. So the last and final section that I'm going to talk about is teachers, okay? A lot of people sleep on their teachers. If you are struggling in a class, I promise you your teacher wants to help you and they want to see you succeed. So use teachers. They are a resource there provided for free at no extra cost. Talk to them in class, after class, email them, message them, whatever. But if you find yourself struggling and you don't know what to do, like you don't understand, reach out to the teachers and they will provide you with extra resources. They will even tell you literally step by step how to study, and they will help you pass the class and understand the material that they're going over. Most teachers that I've come to are really, really nice when it comes to a student who is constantly reaching out. If you find yourself struggling and you're reaching out, a teacher is more likely to want to bump up your grade at the end of the semester or the end of the year if they see that you have been actively working the whole year or the whole semester to get your grade up, to understand what is going on. Like if you are expressing to your teacher like, hey, I want to get a good grade in this class. I want to understand what this class is doing. Like I'm not passing this class. Please help me. They will be so much more inclined to help you out by bumping your 89 to a 90. And I have personal experience with that. I took an accelerated psychology class and the first test I did terrible on. It was like the worst test grade that I've ever gotten in my academic history, and I was devastated. I cried. But my mom told me, and I'm telling this to you guys too, to reach out to my teacher and ask her to set up a meeting and go over my test with her so I could see where I messed up, where I needed to work on better, which concepts I didn't have solidified, and which ones I did so that I didn't study those and study the ones that I needed to solidify. And basically my teacher was so nice. She told me exactly what I did wrong. She went over my test with me. She provided me with a bunch of resources that I could use to study off of. She helped me like know what to study. She even told me like, hey, I prefer to do true or false questions. So make sure that you know like true or false, like is this true or is this false? And she's told me how she likes to include like random facts or things about psychology in the quiz, like some things that she'll mention in the notes of the lectures. She likes to test on those because they're just little things, but they can show that you were listening, you were paying attention, you were, actively paying attention in the class. And because I reached out to her and I showed her my concern for not only my grade, but to understand the material, she was a lot more inclined to bump up my grade. I mean, maybe she bumps up grades for everybody, but from an 89.9, it was literally an 89.9 to a 90, and that helped get me a 4.6. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you leave a like and comment down below. We are on a road to 200 subscribers, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye guys!